I feel like YouTube and content creation is going to be my way out. Tired of the rat race. I'm tired of working for somebody else. I'm tired of working on someone else's schedule, or someone else's discipline system. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that no more. I want to get rid of it. And if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking the same thing. You're trying to escape your 9 to 5 and you want to go full time in, I don't know, maybe business, maybe a YouTube channel, whatever it is. For me, it's a little bit of both. I'm starting a handcrafted goods company, as you can see, or starting to sell handcrafted goods. About like 6 months into that now. And then I'm starting this YouTube channel too as well to kind of just document everything. I've been feeling like I've been sitting on the sidelines for so long now that I just want to like get my hands dirty and actually make content and do it messy. I don't feel like I'm ready, but I'm doing it anyways. And if you're watching this, I feel like that's probably what you're supposed to be doing too. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Mike. I go by Michael or Mike Martin. I'm a aspiring entrepreneur, I guess if you want to call it, aspiring content creator, full-time father, father of 3, expecting 1 in a month or so. I have a beautiful wife and I work a regular job. I work a regular 9 to 5. No shame in that. But I feel like if I'm not actually creating something and actually working for myself, I'm not living my true identity. And I kind of realized that early on, or not early on, a little later than I want to. But the only thing that made me realize that is starting a new job. So if you've watched my content before, I've talked about a job that I was at that I hated. So just a little background about myself. I wanted to kind of just say this so I can kind of just give you guys a preface of why I'm making this video. So basically, not to go into too much detail, but I want to start at like about 10 years ago. So I was expecting my first child with my current wife. And I was not in any circumstance to have any kids at the time. I did not have a job. I did not have any skills. I didn't even graduate high school at the time. I was just in a bad place. And I feel like could be a story separate in and of itself, but kind of just to let you guys know like where I'm at, or what has led me to this point in my life. So basically, I was not in a position at all to be a father. I was about 19, almost 20. No job, no resources, no skills, no high school diploma, nothing. And I was expecting my first child, and I was freaking terrified, and I'm sure my wife was terrified too, my girlfriend at the time. And I just had to figure it out. I just had to do something. I remember applying to like 20 different jobs, never got a call back, had interviews, never got a call back, until finally I got hired at a Mexican grocery store, working in the tortilleria. Oh, damn, I just spit a little bit when I said tortilleria. But working at a tortilleria. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically just a tortilla factory within like the supermarkets. I remember I started my first day. They put me in there and it's freaking hot as balls in there. And you got people at the counter asking for orders and this and that. And you're helping people make the freaking tortillas. And it's a stressful environment. I quit on my lunch. It was my first day. I was only like 2 hours into the job and I just quit. I just told them, I was like, yeah, this is not for me. And I left. And I remember walking home that day, taking the bus, coming home and feeling so defeated and being like, oh my gosh, like what is my like girlfriend gonna think? Like she's gonna be so mad, like she's expecting a kid and I just quit a job. And yeah, I remember walking home defeated, tears in my eyes, just feeling terrible. Fast forward to the month that my baby was going to be born, and I still had no job. And there's a grocery store right next to my house at the time, and it's the one place I didn't apply to in my area. And my girlfriend was like, "Why don't you try applying there? Like, it's worth a shot." And I was like, "I don't want to. Like, I'm just so defeated. Like, that place is like a high-end grocery. Like, they would never hire me. Blah blah blah." Just that negative thinking that you kind of have to get rid of, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a very negative person at first, like or at least in that time in my life, I was like a really negative person. So whatever, I just finally, you know, build up the courage, apply, and I get a call, and then I get an interview, and then I get the job, and I'm freaking pushing carts for like $9 an hour or something like that. I'm pushing carts for like $9 an hour. I finally started this place, and then they're like, "Hey, you know, there's an opportunity in the meat department. Like, do you want to take it? It's $1 more." And at the time, I'm like, "Yo, $1 more? That's crazy, bro. Like, that's crazy." And I was like walking to work and stuff, and like, boom, like a week or so into that position, my wife goes into labor, and I'm at this job, and I literally go to work the day she's going into labor, and I'm at work because I can't freaking take a day off because I need the money. And finally, you know, it's the day of the labor, my daughter's born, and everything changes. All of a sudden, like, I start feeling like I'm a more, you know, confident person because I have to be, not because like it's a choice now, you know. Like, now I feel like there's somebody depending on me. I didn't really feel like that at first. Which, if you have a girlfriend, like right now, you kind of do have someone depending on you. I know it might not seem like that right now, but like, if you're planning on building a life with that person, you kind of do have someone depending on you. They're depending on you to be a leader, be confident. You know, this goes for men and women. They're depending on you to be strong and, you know, be the rock and make you a confident person. Anyways, that's kind of getting sidetracked now at the moment, but basically, long story short, that's kind of where I started. Kind of just like that's kind of where the mindset shift kind of happened for me. So kind of just to sum up 5 years of my life, because I was at that job for 5 years. I was very comfortable. I basically was happy. I mean, I was cool. And then I think it was like a year later, boom, my wife is pregnant again. This time it's a lot less scary because we're both working. We already have our own place at this time. So it's not that scary, but it is something that I was like, oh snap, like I need to make more money, you know? Fast forward, I get a call from a high school friend that I haven't seen in like years, probably like a couple years, 3 years. He hits me up and he's like basically trying to recruit me into a pyramid scheme. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. He's like, "Hey, you know, my place is hiring, blah blah blah." I feel like you guys have probably heard this before. My place is hiring, yada yada. Like, I'd want you to come to my office to talk about the details and blah blah blah. And, you know, you ask, you're like, "Oh, well, what is it?" You know, blah blah blah. "Oh man, it's easier to explain if you're in person, blah blah." So whatever, I go and this and that. And yeah, it was a freaking pyramid scheme, right? And, you know, at the time I didn't really know that, but like, it basically kind of did, the only thing it did do for me was kind of open my eyes, like, oh wow, like there's people out here that have freaking money. You know, there's people out here that are making like thousands of dollars a month, you know, millions a year. And even though like that's not the way that I would want to become a millionaire, it opened my eyes to see it was possible, you know. And it kind of did shift my mindset into like, oh, you know, there's more out there besides just working a job and climbing the corporate ladder, or climbing the ladder at your work, and basically getting a job or getting a good paying job. Whatever, ended up leaving that freaking pyramid scheme, but I built a relationship with that friend that got me in it. Eventually he ended up leaving, and then we just became like, you know, homies. And then, you know, from there I basically just bounced around to like different jobs. You know, went to a different grocery store that paid more. After that grocery store, I went to dealership, and at the dealership I started like, you know, washing cars, doing kind of like porter stuff, and basically worked my way up into becoming like the lead of the, inventory department. And I was making okay money. I wasn't making like a lot of money, but that's basically kind of where my mindset shift happened. And kind of just to sum up this video of why I'm like, YouTube is going to be my way out is because, or I should say like content creation is going to be my way out is, every time I like left a job and looked for something new, like you kind of have high hopes. You kind of like, oh, like this, it's exciting. Like, it's a new environment. It's more pay usually. There's opportunities, but then kind of like that high kind of just like slowly kind of fades away. And you kind of just are left with like, wow, this is going to be my life. Like I'm waking up dreading going to work because I don't really enjoy the work. Maybe you don't enjoy who you work with. Like, there's things like that, and the only thing that changes any of that and that you have more control in what it is that you're putting yourself through is choosing to work for yourself, choosing to create something, choosing to make something. Like every company that you've ever worked for, like someone decided like, hey, I'm going to work for myself, or hey, I'm going to do my own thing. And that's kind of how it should be. I feel like for me, at least, I don't think everybody necessarily can be an entrepreneur or wants to be, a business owner or wants to own something. Some people are okay with being just workers, people like consistency, people like, steadiness, people like predictability, the same check every week, the same environment every week. A lot of people like that. I do to a certain extent, but I also like when I can choose to be off. I can choose to be free. I can choose how much I want to make in terms of like how hard I work. And if you're watching this, you're probably just kind of like me, and you're kind of just like, that's what I want and what I'm looking for. That's a little bit about kind of just what started my shift into that. Just because this last job that I was at, so not this job that I have now, but the job that I was at before, I was a service advisor at a dealership, used car dealership. And as you can probably guess, like when people's cars break down that they just bought or that they've only had for like a couple of days or months, and it breaks down on them or something crazy happens to it, like you're the front line of like who they're yelling at, who they're venting their problems to. Like all of a sudden you become a therapist and you're like dealing with, technicians, you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with your manager, you're dealing with salespeople, you're dealing with a whole bunch of problems, basically dealing with insurance. Like it's like a whole thing. And basically I was at that position. It was technically a promotion. And like I said, at first I was like, oh man, this is way more money than I'm used to making. This is a Monday through Friday schedule. Like this is awesome. Like this is great. And then, like I said, like that feeling kind of just slowly dwindles, because then you're starting to realize like, damn, like this is my everyday. This is my life. This is what I chose to, like, this is a position I chose to put myself in. And I freaking hated my life at the time. I was like, dude, I hate this. I'm going to look for something else. Once again, I kind of had like, it's like a freaking, what do they call it? Like a continuous loop. Like, you go to a job, you're excited, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't like this place. And all of a sudden you're like, I hate this place. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to look for something else. And then the cycle continues. And I feel like, content creation, YouTube, it's got to be the thing that breaks that cycle for me. I started a new job. I've only been at it for like a month or so. And the best way to tell if you're going to like a job is to look at the people around you. Yeah, if your manager is never in a good mood, that's probably a good indicator that it's probably not a good job. If they're always going home early, if they're always going home, and like they just look unhappy, it's like it's probably not a good job. If you look at the people that have been there for a long time and how they talk about the company, that'll tell you a lot. A lot of the guys that where I'm at right now, like they're telling me that this company sucks, but it pays decent, And I don't know, man. I can't do that, man. like this is like the soonest that I've ever felt that a job was gonna basically not. How do I explain it? This is the soonest that I've felt that a job was gonna be just fucking suck, basically, you know. And this is the soonest that I've ever experienced that excitement of a new job fade away, like first day, like just like that. Where I'm like sitting in the, you know, whatever the office and doing the orientation, and I'm just like, this is the same shit as the last job and the last job and the last job. Like, if like I just need something else, you know. And then basically this is kind of where I'm at right now. That feeling faded away, and that wanting to create is alive in me, and it's I want to keep it alive even the days where I don't feel motivated, because this is the only way out that I feel, that I see. I have 3 kids, I have a wife, and I'm expecting another baby. Like, I don't have time to be like fucking around and seeing if something works out, you know. I gotta like actually make things work. And if you're watching this, you're probably feeling the same way. You're probably not having, you know, probably don't have all these kids, but you know that you don't want to work a job anymore. You know that you don't want to work for someone else, someone that you don't like. You know you want to make way more money than what you're used to. And if that's you, you're probably like me, and it'd be cool if you know, drop the like, drop the comment, subscribe, whatever you need to do to come back to this video or come back to this channel, to kind of like support each other type of thing, you know. I feel like that'd be really cool. But basically that's kind of like my goal for this channel, is to kind of just have these talks, you know, kind of have these rants and stuff, and vent, but also kind of just show you guys progress in like my channel or like my personal business, to escape the 9 to 5, you know. That's ultimately what we want to do. And you know, I'm gonna end the video there. I'll see you guys probably in the next one.